I am Tom, and I enjoy playing violent video games. Game of choice is Call of Duty, Modern Warfare number 3.
In the olden days, I used to program games. I've done 2D sprites and 3D animation for games. I'm about to be entered in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the largest game collection in the world. That's kind of exciting. And it's my passion. It's consumed my life. Video games and violence affecting young children is kind of a moot point. The industry has grown so much over time that young children like myself that have grown up several decades forward have grown with the industry as it has grown.
I think that I am living proof that video games have no effect on my daily life. Outside the fantasy world that you're in while you're playing them.
I think statistics show that less than 8% of the game players are under the age of 17. I think the bigger question comes down to is not, are those potentially harmful games bad for kids, but how do the kids get the games in the first place? And a lot of that comes down to parenting. Children
Might have more of an issue distinguishing the fantasy from the reality. So that's why there are ratings on video games, and that's where good parenting comes in.
You know, the danger with games, if there's any danger with games, is that I think they can become an obsession. And like all obsessions, there are no healthy obsessions. But if someone's playing a game or a child's playing a game and it's in a controlled atmosphere and it doesn't consume them, then I think it can be a very positive force.
I think playing violent video games provides a really safe outlet for expressing your anger and letting out anger that everyone has.
Where are they? Come on, I killed him!
But it's purely in the form of entertainment and nothing else.
Anything that a young mind is exposed to can be detrimental or positive. With all media, there's good and the bad, and the saying garbage in, garbage out. If you're playing games that aren't challenging to the brain and are filled with an enormous amount of violence and don't have a lot more redeeming factor to them, well, sure, I guess it could be harmful, but not any more harmful than television or even walking down the street.
If you can't distinguish between fantasy and reality, and you let a video game that is very violent affect your daily life, then it doesn't have to be a video game that's going to trigger you. It could be a movie, it could be a TV show, it could be a song, it could be anything.
Wherever you are, whether it's real or virtual, you're going to come across fantastic things that are wonderful and horrible things that are just plain flat scary or detrimental. Video games are an instrument and a tool, and they can be used for good or for bad and everything in between.
I think the debate between violence and video games has been blown completely out of proportion. I mean, you look at kids that are playing Farmville. Are they becoming farmers? Probably not. You look at the kids playing World of Warcraft. Are they becoming blood elves? Probably not.
In modern games, you know, I think it's one of the few aspects in society where children are allowed to fail. You know, in the public school system, you know, the teachers can't fail the kids anymore. They can't give them bad grades. They have to motivate them and try to be positive reinforcement. And then they enter the real world and they fail, and they've never failed before, and they're shocked and they don't understand. Where in the video game it pushes the player, and if they don't do what they're supposed to do in the game, well then they lose. It says game over on the screen. And I think it's one of the few avenues left where kids are actually exposed to failure. And I think that's important, because when they get into society, before you can be successful, you have to fail.